Hi everybody and welcome to Lip Kit Laboratory. This is our step-by-step tutorial. Before we get into the tutorial, let's check out what's inside the box. Once you open it up, you'll see our welcome card. There's a good amount of information on there, so hang on to that for later. On the back of that is our instructions as well, which you're watching the video, so that also has instructions, but this is good to keep on hand for later. Then you'll see our powdered colorants. We have pink, coral, brick, red star, which is like a sparkly pink, white, rose, plum, and gold. These will all add shimmer to your lip colors. On top of that are our liquid colorants. There is white, orange, blue, brown, cool red, which is more of a pink red, true red, which is as red as it gets, and warm red, which is more of a corally red. There's also black. You'll also find 3 flavoring oils. We have vanilla bean, watermelon and basil, and champagne flavoring. You'll also find the lip base that you chose. This is our cream gloss base. So it may look a little different if you got matte or satin or our clear gloss, but that jar will be included as well. You will also see all 10 of the empty lip tubes that you'll be filling. Here is the measuring beaker, which has the measurements right along the side there in milliliters. The filling syringe, a nice wide mouth for filling it at the top, but a fine tip for filling the lip tubes, which comes in handy. Your stirring and scooping spatula. That's how you're going to mix everything up. And also a mini scoop, which will be used to measure out your powdered colors. Now that we've seen what's inside, let's go ahead and get started. You don't have to wear gloves if you don't have them around, that's fine. If you're making these lip colors just for yourself, it's not a big deal. If you're making these for a small business, I would definitely wear gloves. Otherwise, the gloves just help keep your hands clean. But if you're making them for yourself, don't sweat it if you don't have gloves on hand. Next, you're going to measure your lip base into the measuring beaker. Scoop it out with your little mini spatula. You want about 11 milliliters. It is difficult, especially with the viscous gloss bases, to get a perfect measurement, but you want to get it as close to that 11 mils as possible. The lip tubes hold up to 12 milliliters in total, but you have to leave a little bit of room for the wand that gets inserted. And you're also going to be adding the flavoring and the coloring, so it's better to have it be just a little bit less than to have too much than will fit in the tube. So scoop your base into that jar until you can basically see that it is about the 11 mil mark on the side of that jar. Again, it is a little bit tricky here, but you just want to get it as close as possible here. Because everything is pre-mixed, it's not a huge deal to get it exactly accurate. Of course, if you have a scale, feel free to use your scale. Once you have it measured into your beaker, it is time to color it. This is the fun part. I'm starting with 1 drop of cool red liquid pigment. I always stir in each drop or each scoop of powdered pigment completely before I add any more. You can't take it away once you've added it. So stir it in completely before you decide if you want to add more or not. You can add up to 20 drops of liquid coloring. You don't typically need that much. 20 drops is a lot. You're going to have a very dark, very bold and opaque lip color with that much. I you tend to use maybe 10 or 12 drops grand total, but you can use up to 20. For this lip color, I'm going for something super, super sheer. I don't want it to be really dark or opaque, so I'm just doing 2 drops total of cool red liquid color. I'm still stirring it in before I add any more. Also, feel free to swatch on your wrist or hand or what have you to see how it looks on your skin tone as you're mixing. That's a great way to see how it's going to end up on your skin when you're done. Now I'm adding some powder. This here is half a scoop of gold powdered colorant. I don't want gold lips, I just want a little bit of warmth to the sparkle of my lip gloss. So just half a scoop of the gold, stirred in completely, and I'm gonna see how that looks before I add anything else. I really love the sparkle that gold shimmer has added to it, but I think it needs a little pop of something else as I'm looking at it. So I'm going to go ahead and add a half a scoop of the Red Star powdered pigment. These are not glitters, these are mineral mica powders, so you don't have to worry about plastics or anything being mixed into your lip colors. It does look sparkly like glitter, but it is not. The Red Star has a beautiful white to pink sort of shift to it, which is really gorgeous. So I'm loving how that is looking in my lip gloss. Still making sure I stir it in completely. I don't want any clumps or anything like that. But I'm very happy with the overall color of that. That is the joy of your lip kit. You can do whatever you want. You can add whatever colors you want and you just keep adding until you're happy with it. Now I'm adding my flavoring. For this one, I chose our watermelon and basil flavoring oil. All of our flavors are all natural. They consist of natural flavoring in a base of sunflower oil. They are not sweetened, so you're not going to get like a sugariness when you lick your lips or anything. It's just sort of an aroma and light flavor that happens. I'm stirring each drop in before I add more with this as well. I would not exceed 6 drops of flavoring. It's going to become bitter if you do so. I personally like 3 drops per tube of lip color. That is my sweet spot. So I'm adding in my 3 drops of watermelon basil. Because these are all natural too, it does not have that candy watermelon flavor. It's really like a fresh watermelon flavor, which I find really pleasant. And the basil just adds a nice bit of greenness to it, which I thought just fits really nice with the color that I chose. The champagne and the vanilla are also lovely choices. Okay, it's all mixed. Time to fill the syringe and then fill our lip tubes. We're almost ready. Nice little scoops into the back of the syringe. You've got to take your time with this part a little bit because it is so thick and viscous, especially with the gloss, that you've got to make sure you're getting it down into the tube and not creating too many air bubbles. So there's going to be a lot of tapping that you do here, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just tap those bubbles out so it makes room for more lip base. I've also done it often where I'll fill my syringe about halfway and then squeeze that into my lip tube, and then fill up my syringe again and then squeeze the rest into the lip tube. However it's easier for you, you just go for it. There's really no wrong way to go about filling your syringe. Almost all of it. It's almost all ready to go. Just tapping out all those air bubbles so I have enough room in there. You do want to tap gently so you're not smashing the tip of your syringe. Just enough to get it to move down into that tube of the syringe. This is probably the least fun part of the process, but still necessary to fill the lip tubes. And all in all, it is really not so bad. You just gotta, you don't want to waste any. You want to make sure every little bit gets in there. So that's the final scoop. And the final little tap. I'm just gently sticking that back in there. I don't want it to shoot out the other end prematurely. Getting my empty lip tube ready here. Taking the lid off. They do come assembled. We assemble them prior to shipping them to you. And that in there is the wiper. That's so you don't get a goopy end of your lip wand. Because that wiper is already in the tube, you can't press down very hard with the syringe when you're trying to fill it. You need a little bit of airflow in between the tip of the syringe and the opening of the lip tube, or there's not any room for the lip gloss to go, essentially. Tapping it down again, getting rid of any bubbles so I can fill it without it overflowing through the top. That's the last little bit there, and it's full. Wow, look how sparkly and beautiful that color is. I'm really happy with how that turned out. Ta-da! You can see that little itty bit of space at the top there, not a big deal. I didn't want it to overflow. I probably had more like 10.5 milliliters in my beaker in hindsight, but that is fine with me. Lastly, when you're all done, definitely wash and reuse your little plastic equipment. There's no sense in throwing it away right away. It's going to come clean really easily with hot soapy water, but I definitely recommend wiping it out with a paper towel first. You don't want anything greasy like that to go down into your drain. It's going to be harder to clean that way, but it's also just horrible for your drains. So go ahead and just wipe it down a little bit, and then you can wash it and use it next time. Alright, there's one final look at the beautiful lip gloss that we made. Again, this was our cream gloss base with 2 drops of cool red liquid pigment, half a scoop of gold powdered color, and half a scoop of red star. And you can see it's very sheer and shiny and sparkly and beautiful. I can't wait to see what you guys create with your lip kits. Be sure to tag us on Instagram.